Hey, welcome back to SocioSimplified, your study buddies for A Level Sociology. So, last week we broke down the definitions of family and the 10 types. If you haven't watched that yet, go check it out. Links in the description. Today we are going to move to one of the most important theories in the families and households topic. Parsons' Fit Thesis, also called the structural differentiation. And by the end of this video, you'll be able to explain it, evaluate it with 5 different critics, and back it up or challenge it with evidence. Let's go. So, what is the Fit Thesis? The core idea is simple. Parsons and Goode argued that the nuclear family perfectly fits the needs of modern industrial society. As society changed from farming villages to factories and cities, the type of family that worked best also changed. The extended family, which dominated pre industrial life, was gradually replaced by the nuclear family, which was better suited to the demands of industrialization. That shift is what Parsons called structural differentiation, the idea that institutions like the family change their structure to fit the needs of the wider society. Two names to remember here: Parsons and Goode. Let's start at the beginning. Before industrialization, think farms, small villages, rural communities, extended families were the norm, and they had three key features. One, multifunctional. The family did everything. Education happened at home, healthcare happened at home, work happened at home, religion, welfare, childcare, all of it was the family's responsibility. There was no NHS, no school system, no welfare state. So, number two, we had the kinship based. Social bonds were built entirely around family obligation: who you were, who you married, where you worked, all of it was determined by your family connections. Number three, the being economically productive. The family wasn't just a home, it was a workplace. Farming, weaving, crafting, the family unit and the work unit were the same thing. So the extended family made perfect sense in this context. You needed everyone: grandparents, aunts, uncles, because they all contributed. Then industrialization happened and everything changed. Factories replaced farms, cities replaced villages, and suddenly the extended family was a disadvantage. It was too large, too rooted, too rigid. The nuclear family, just parents and children, became the ideal unit. Why? Three reasons. One, social mobility. In industrial society, you could move up the social ladder based on your own hard work and ability, not just your family name. This is called meritocracy, but if you're too tied up to your extended family's status, it holds you back. Two, geographical mobility. Factories were not everywhere. Work was where the factories were. A small nuclear family could pack up and move to Manchester or London for a job. A large extended family couldn't. Number three, decline in nepotism. In pre-industrial society, you got a job because your father knew someone. In industrial society, employers needed the best workers, not just your cousin. So family connections mattered less and individual skill mattered more. Nuclear family fits all three needs perfectly. That, in essence, is the Fit Thesis. It mattered less and individual skill mattered more. Nuclear family fits all these three needs perfectly. That, in essence, is the Fit Thesis. Let me show you this visually so it clicks. Pre-industrial society needed the extended family, multifunctional, kinship-based, economically productive. Industrialization happened. Industrial society needed the nuclear family, mobile, meritocratic, and independent. The family structure changed to fit the society. That's structural differentiation. Now, does everyone agree with Parsons? Absolutely not. This is sociology. There are always critics, and in this case, there are 5 key ones you need to know for your exam: Finch, Carlin, Laslett, Anderson, and Harris. Let's go through each one. First up, we have Finch. Finch criticism is simple but powerful. There is no evidence that people in pre industrial society actually took responsibility for their elderly relatives. Parsons basically assumed that extended families in the past were warm, caring, and supportive. Grandma looked after the kids, the whole village helped out. But Finch says, where's the proof? There's no solid historical evidence that elderly care was a standard family responsibility in pre industrial society. Parsons is building his theory on an assumption, a romanticized idea of the pre industrial family that may have never been true. Next up, Carlin and Laslett, two critics, one slide because their arguments point in the same direction. Carlin studied early modern Western Europe and found that the nuclear family was actually already common before industrialization. Why? Because of low average life expectancy. People simply didn't live long enough to form multi generational extended families. If your grandparents are dead by the time you're 10, there is no extended family. So it wasn't that people chose the nuclear family, it chose them because everyone else had died. Laslett goes even further with hard historical data. He found that only 10% of pre industrial households were actually extended. Just 10%. High mortality rates made large extended families practically impossible to sustain. So both Carlin and Laslett are saying the same thing. Parsons' starting point that extended families dominated pre industrial society is historically wrong. Now, Anderson and Harris. Anderson challenges Parsons on industrialization itself. He argues that during industrialization there was no single dominant family structure. It wasn't just nuclear families everywhere. Reconstituted families, lone parent families, extended kin networks, they all existed alongside each other. Parsons oversimplified a much messier historical reality. It wasn't a clean switch from extended to nuclear, it was complicated. Harris brings in this concept of primogeniture, which is the system of inheritance by the firstborn son. Under primogeniture, only one child inherited the family's land or wealth. That meant the extended family wasn't actually needed to hold property together. Only the nuclear unit of parents and firstborn mattered for inheritance purposes. So Harris is saying, even in this pre-industrial society, the extended family wasn't structurally necessary for economic reasons. So the nuclear unit was already dominant in terms of property and inheritance. Okay, so critics say Parsons got the past wrong, but there's also a challenge from the present. Even today, in modern industrial and post industrial society, evidence shows that extended families haven't disappeared, they've just changed. Three pieces of evidence you need to know. Evidence 1. Studies of working class communities in the north of England found that extended kinship networks are still very much alive, particularly in areas where agriculture, fishing, and mining are the principal economic activities. When your whole community depends on the same industry and you literally work alongside your relatives every day, extended family bonds stay strong. The economic logic that Parsons said breaks up extended families actually maintains them in these contexts. Evidence to Willmott. Willmott found that variations of modified extended families still exist in modern society. He identified three forms: families living locally near each other, dispersed families spread across a region but staying in contact, and attenuated families where ties have weakened but not disappeared. Willmott's point is that the extended family didn't die, it adapted and it's still there. Evidence 3. Brannen's Beanpole family. Brannen identified a new form of extended family emerging in modern society, the Beanpole family, a verticalized extended family spanning 3, 4, or even 5 generations. Why is this happening? Two reasons. People are living longer than ever before, and people are having fewer children per generation. So instead of wide, horizontal, extended families with lots of cousins and siblings, we now have tall, thin family trees: great grandparents, grandparents, parents, one child, all alive at the same time. The extended family hasn't vanished, it's just gone vertical. Alright, quick recap before we go. The Fit Thesis, Parsons and Goode. Pre-industrial society was dominated by extended families that were multifunctional, kinship-based, and economically productive. Industrialization created the need for a more mobile, meritocratic unit, and the nuclear family fit perfectly. Social mobility, geographical mobility, and the decline of nepotism all favored the nuclear over the extended. The critics: Finch says there is no evidence of elderly care in pre-industrial times. Carlin says nuclear was already common because of low life expectancy. Laslett found only 10% of pre-industrial families were extended. Anderson says no single structure dominated during industrialization. Harris says primogeniture made the extended family economically irrelevant anyway. Evidence extended families still exist. Working class communities in the north of England, Willmott's modified extended families, and Brannen's Beanpole families all show the extended family is still here, just changed. That is Parsons' Fit Thesis, fully explained, fully evaluated, exam ready. If this helped, smash that like button. It genuinely helps more students find the channel. If you're revising for A Level Sociology, subscribe. We post every week and we've got the whole families and households unit covered in this playlist. And drop a comment. Which critic do you think makes the strongest argument against Parsons? Let me know below. Next video will be tackling nuclear family as dominant versus family diversity. Is the nuclear family really still on top, or has modern life made family diversity the new norm? See you there, hit the bell.